Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj Sri Prabhupada. Yeah, hey Manjumati, when you are ready, please start Mataji.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 61, Text 1 to 20. Lord Balaram slays Rukmi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayat Nastaprayesu Bhadrayesu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे. Text 1. Sukadev Goswami said, each of Lord Krishna's wives gave birth to 10 sons, who were not less than their father, having all his personal opulence. Because of each of these princes saw that Lord Achyuta never left her palace. Each thought herself the Lord's favorite. These women did not understand the full truth about him. The Supreme Lord's wives were fully enchanted by his lovely lotus-like face, his long arms and large eyes, his loving glances imbued with laughter, and his charming talks with them. But with all their charms, these ladies could not conquer the mind of the all-powerful Lord. The arch eyebrows of these 16,000 queens enchantingly expressed the ladies' secret intention through coyly smiling sidelong glances. Thus their eyebrows boldly sent forth conjugal messages. Yet even with these arrows of Cupid, and with other means as well, they could not agitate Lord Krishna's senses. Thus these women obtained as their husband the master of the goddesses of fortune. Although even great demigods like Brahma do not know how to approach him, with ever-increasing pleasure they felt loving attraction for him, exchanged smiling glances with him, eagerly anticipated associating with him in ever-fresh intimacy, and enjoyed in many other ways. Although the Supreme Lord's queens each had 100 of maidservants, they chose to personally serve the Lord by approaching him humbly, offering him a seat, worshipping him with excellent paraphernalia, bathing and massaging his feet, giving him pan to chew, fanning him, anointing him with fragrant sandalwood paste, adorning him with flower garlands, dressing his hair, arranging his bed, bathing him, and presenting him with various gifts. Text 7. Among Lord Krishna's wives, each of whom had 10 sons, I previously mentioned 8 principal queens. I shall now recite for you the names of those 8 queens' sons, headed by Pradyumna. The first son of Queen Rukmini was Pradyumna, and also born of her were Charudesna, Sudeshna, and the powerful Charudeha, along with Sucharu, Charugupta, Bhadracharu, Charuchandra, Vicharu, and Charu the 10th. None of these sons of Lord Hari was less than his father. The 10 sons of Satyabhama were Bhanu, Subhanu, Swabhanu, Prabhanu, Bhanuman, Chandrabhanu, Brihadbhanu, Atibhanu the 8th, Sribhanu, and Pratibhanu. Samba, Sumitra, Purujit, Satyajit, Sahasrajit, Vijaya, Chitraketu, Vasuman, Dravida, and Krutu were the sons of Jambavati. The 10 headed by Samba, these 10 headed by Samba were their father's favorite. The sons of Nagnajiti were Veera, Chandra, Aswasena, Chitragu, Vegavan, Vrisa, Ama, Sanku. Vasu, and the opulent Kunti. Sruta, Kabi, Vrisa, Veera, Subahu, Bhadra, Santi, Darsa, and Punarmasa were sons of Kalindi. Her youngest son was Somaka. Text 15. Madras. Sons were Praghosha, Gatravan, Simha, Bala, Prabala, Urdaga, Mahaksakti, Saha, Oja, and Aparajita. Mitravinda's sons were Vrika, Harsa, Anila, Kridha, Vardhana, Unnada, Mahamsa, Pavana, Vahini, and Kasudi. Sangramajit, Vrihatsena, Sura, Praharana, Arijit, Jaya, and Subhadra were the sons of Vadra, together with Vama, Ayur, and Satyaka. Text 18. Dittiman, Tamrapata, and others were the sons of Lord Krishna and Rohini. Lord Krishna's son, Pradyumna, fathered the greatly powerful Aniruddha in the womb of Rukmavati, the daughter of Rukmi. O king, this took place while they were living in the city of Bhojakta. Text 90. My dear king, the sons and grandsons of Lord Krishna's children numbered in the tens of millions. 16,000 mothers gave rise to this dynasty. Text 20. King Parikshit said, how could Rukmi give his daughter to his enemy's son? After all, Rukmi had been defeated by Lord Krishna in battle and was waiting for an opportunity to kill him. Please explain this to me, O learned one, how these two inimical parties became united through marriage. Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Manjuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear Sri Krishna Guruji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to my Gopal. Yeah, whenever you're ready, please start, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Sundaran Prabhu. Thank you, Hemangi Mataji, for reading Srimad Bhagavatam today. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradhari Kripambudir Tamaham Prapadye. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langete girim yatkrupa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm happy to see you all after a little bit of gap. I was traveling. So today we are seeing this beautiful chapter. So in the previous chapter, we can see that Lord Krishna was jokingly teasing Mother Rukmini, and he wanted to see, so Mother Rukmini was so lovingly serves Lord Krishna that hardly there is any chance of Krishna seeing any anger or any mood swings. So Krishna wanted to jokingly tease Mother Rukmini, and he kind of thought he would evoke anger, but she actually fainted. So, and Krishna also glorified Mother Rukmini, how she was so much pure in her service, and no one could actually excel her service, and he glorifies. And in fact, Mother Rukmini also glorifies Krishna. Whatever things Krishna said, she actually made all of those things are true in a very different, positive way. So in the same chapter, in the previous chapter, Lord Krishna actually reveals that how Mother Rukmini was so much in loving service that she even so when the marriage happened between Pradyumna son Aniruddha, that time basically there was a match dice match, and during that match, Balram has to slay Rukmi. Imagine there is a marriage ceremony, and then there's a death in the family. It's a very precarious situation, but Rukmini did not even speak a word. She was silent. Even though her brother was killed, she did not express of that loss, and did not actually say anything to Krishna, which speaks a lot about how much trust she has with Krishna. Now, these are all, even though Lord Krishna is playing a role of a human being, we can understand these are all situations how Lord himself is dealing with these situations. Lord Krishna also did not basically took any sides, either Balram's side or Rukmini's side. He also kept silent. So there are several things we can learn about these things, how to handle. So here, apart from the material relationships, but how the Lord is actually dealing with his devotees is the most important thing. So here in this chapter, now Sukadeva Goswami is elaborating. In this chapter, he started elaborating about how Lord Krishna was so much in loving exchange with his queens, 8 principal queens, and then 16,000 and 100 queens together, how he was exchanging loving relationships. And he also describing the 10 sons of each of the principal queens. So only the first eight principal queens who are mentioned. So the first 8 principal queens are very special, starting with Mother Rukmini herself. They are considered like the most intimate, and then the other queens follows. So here, if you can see that Sukadeva Goswami is elaborating the names of the 10 sons of each of the queens. So we'll just see a glimpse of the verses today, what Sukadeva Goswami is elaborating. So here in the previous chapter, like Sukadeva Goswami mentioned that that there was that unfortunate Rukmi was killed, and then in this chapter also, later on in this chapter, Parikshit Maharaj is questioning how come Rukmi gave his daughter to Aniruddha. How is that possible? Because they had enmity. Krishna actually abducted Rukmini against the will of Rukmi, his brother, right? He wanted Rukmini to be married with Shishupal, but against his own will, Lord Krishna abducted, because that was the wish of Mother Rukmini herself. She wanted to have Lord Krishna as his consort. So Krishna also, his loving devotee's wish, he wanted to fulfill. So in every marriage, if you look at Krishna, Krishna always reciprocates with the wish of her devotees. In every marriage, the queen actually wanted to marry Krishna, and Lord also accepts. In fact, in Sukadeva Goswami himself is elaborating that the queens were serving so much personal service they were giving. They're trying to enchant Lord Krishna, but Lord Krishna is not controlled by, he's not actually. In other words, he's not like an ordinary human who is going to be controlled by a wife. Even though is so much loving service they do, he is not enchanted like that. So he's completely full in himself. He's Atma Rama. He's completely full in himself, but he just reciprocates according to the devotee's desires. So here Sukadeva Goswami elaborating how no one can imitate Lord Krishna in even in any of the aspects. When he came to this planet, people always wanted to have big palatial buildings, queens. There are kings who had multiple queens, but no one can match with the Lord's. How the Lord actually, when Lord establishes opulence, it is matchless. So similarly, Lord had so many thousands of queens, thousands of palatial buildings, with all the opulences, Narada Muni is witnessing. So here Sukadeva Goswami is just giving a glimpse of what that is. So each of these queens has had 10 sons, which is equivalent to 16,108 is of, so many 161,080 sons. Lord Krishna was fathering with all of these queens. And so it looks like Lord Krishna always stayed with the queen, and he only left the palace with the permission of the queen. So imagine such a very intimate husband, just like an intimate husband, Lord Krishna was also. Without, it was mentioned here that in the purport, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, Lord Krishna would leave the palaces only with the permission of his wives. So you can imagine. So all of these queens thought, oh, he is my Lord. I am the favorite queen. So Lord Krishna never leaves. So they knew that Krishna had married so many queens, but they always thought, I am the favorite queen. Lord is always with me. That was how they were thinking. And it is, Sukadeva Goswami gives a little bit of glimpse of how these loving exchanges were. So the Lord Krishna's beauty is elaborating. Charu means beautiful, in Sanskrit. In a lot of these names of children also you can see, especially Mother Rukmini, not in the Rukmini's Ru, the word Ru comes. So all of the sons' names was mentioned as Charu. So here Lord Krishna's beauty is also mentioned. Charu abjakosha vadana yatabahu netra sapremaha sharasha vikshita valgu jalpai sammohita bhagavato namano vijetam swair vibramai samaksh samashashakam vanita vibum na. So here Sukadeva Goswami is saying the word Vibhrama means, that trying to allure or attract, and every queen is trying to do so much service by so much attracted by the features of the Lord. He's so much lotus-like his face, his long arms, his eyes. So much the Lord is so charming that all of the queens, they're trying to conquer the mind of the Lord, but they could not. So in other ways, Sukadeva Goswami is saying the Lord is always in control. He is not conquered by any kind of allurements. So in other words, he is conquered by his loving devotees. So the Sukadeva Goswami's point is that Lord is always all powerful, and he cannot be agitated by any amount of allurements or beauty. He is only conquered by loving service. So so this is, even in the purport also, here we can see that the truth is explained. The Lord is all powerful, full in himself with infinite opulence. So, and then the beauty of the queens, how everybody is so much lovingly serving. That is also so the same verses Sukadeva Goswami repeats in same exact verse. He repeats in two places in this 10th canto, and in the purport it is mentioned that Sukadeva Goswami is capturing this point because he could not stop from expressing the feelings of loving exchanges between the queens and Krishna. So this is also another beautiful verse. Here it says that how all of this queens, so beautiful, they could not enchant or agitate Lord Krishna's senses. Smayovaloka lava darshita bhavahari Bhrumandala prahita saurata mantra saundrai patnyastu sodasha sahasram anangabanai yashendriyam vimatitam karanai nasheko. So yasha indriyam, so like the Lord's senses, Vimatitam, it could not be agitated by all of this beautiful 16,108 queens. So this is the and so much, their loving glances and the conjugal messages. Yet it is mentioned that with all of this Anangaba and the Cupid, Lord could not be agitated. So, and now how much fortunate these queens are, that is also Sukadeva Goswami is elaborating, that even demigods like Lord Brahma, sometimes they do not know how to approach the Lord. They come on the Sirodakshai Shirsagar ocean and they recite prayers, and then the Lord actually, the voice, and they only hear the voice of the Lord. And they don't even know how to approach the Lord. And these ladies and these queens have the Lord as their husband. And not only that, the Lord is lovingly reciprocating the whole day and night. Lord is with them, reciprocating, interacting with them, talking, joking, so much association. This is unimaginable, this fortune, that is what Sukadeva Goswami is elaborating. And their fortune, how much they were fortunate, it is unimaginable. And it's also ever fresh. He's saying, Hashavaloka Navasangama Lala Shadhyam. So Nava means ever fresh, ever intimate association, every day something new, every moment something fresh, fresh interaction with the Lord. These queens are so much fortunate. And then Sukadeva Goswami goes on to elaborate how he was personally present with each of these queens, and what he was doing. He gives an example of how he was personally associating with the queens. So even though they had so many thousands of maid servants, each of the queen would personally serve the Lord. They would offer him a seat, and they would worship him with the paraphernalia. They would bathe the Lord, massage his feet. They would palm leaf to chew. So there's all this personal service. The queens would personally take time to do it. So because there's so much enjoyment, so much relishing, that they were actually taking time. So all of these verses are like very poetic, very beautiful verses. Pratyudghamashanavara Varahara Pada Saucha Tambula Tambula Vishramana Vijana Gandhamalai Kesha Prashara Sayana Snanapanopahara. So means snana means like giving bath to the Lord. Dashi Sata Api Vibor Vidatu Smad Dashyam. So much dashyam in the loving servitude mood. They were doing this service to the Lord. So here, like I said, in this chapter, the verse number 5, and in the 59th chapter, the verse number 44, exactly the same. Sukadeva Goswami is again revealing the same fact, how much intimate service the queens were doing, and so much they were fortunate. And also the word varahana, it is mentioned here that excellent offerings, they were everything perfect. They are trying to offer to the Lord, and so much intimate service with the flowers, pushpanjali, ratnanjali, like jewels and all of that paraphernalia. So now, after these verses, now Sukadeva Goswami is elaborating about the 8 principal queens of Krishna. So the 8 principal queens, starting from Mother Rukmini, Jambavati, Mitravinda, Satyabhama, Nagnajiti, Bhadra, Kalindi, and Lakshmana. These 8 were considered the principal queens. And then the other queens of the chief were Mother Rohini. So all of them, so Mother Rohini's 2 sons were also mentioned in addition. So, I mean, some things I've noticed here is like you can see Mother Rukmini's sons were named with Ru, like that. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but Charu Deshna, Sudeshna, like Charu. The word Charu means beautiful. So you can see Bhadra Charu, Charu Chandra, like that. All of these names comes, and in each of these sons, it is mentioned that all of them were equally powerful, equally beautiful, like Lord Krishna. So, in the material world, we can imagine when a son looks exactly same like father, they appreciate, he looks exactly like you. So Lord Krishna is all powerful. Imagine, he when he actually performs his leelas, it is like all the features, everything so beautiful that these sons were as good as the father. Similarly, Satyabhama, here the names are mentioned Bha with the word Bhanu, Subhanu, Sobhan, Prabhanu, like that. So there were some similarities with the mother's name, and that's what I could find. And especially here, Jiva Goswami is translation, it is mentioned that Pitru Sammataha in this verse mentions the highly regarded by their father. So the word also indicate these sons, like the others already mentioned, were regarded as being just like the glorious Father Lord Krishna. So all of the sons' names, Sukadeva Goswami mentions. So in all of them were, very special, and then had a special features like Lord Krishna. And then going on further, now in the final 18th and 19th verse, now the Prabhupada in the purport, it is mentioned that how each of these queens had 10 sons, and then they further had each of them had 10 sons. Like that, the whole Krishna's Yadava's family was in millions of people. So that was the dynasty, whole Yadava dynasty. And finally, in the last verse in this chapter, Sri Raja Vacha, the King Parikshit Maharaj is asking a question. So now Rukmi, like I said, Rukmi gave his daughter to Pradyumna's son Aniruddha. And how is this union happened? How come? Because Rukmi is in enmity with Lord Krishna. With Lord Krishna, when he defeated Rukmi, and then they had to shave his head, all that happened. Now how come again they are actually union in marriage? So this question was now asked by Parikshit Maharaj. So in answer to this question, now Sukadeva Goswami is going to explain how the unfortunate situation of Balram slaying Rukmi happened in the past. So there are a lot of lessons that we can learn in that pastime also. So these are all Lord's pastimes that we can understand many things. But one important factor we can understand here is how Lord is very personal. So whatever he does, he is very personal. Even though he married so many queens, he is very personal with each one of them. He is doing a personal reciprocating the service and exchanging loving exchanges. This is only possible by Supreme Lord. But when we become Vaishnavas and devotees, we also tend to be personal. So the Maharaj, the sannyasis and great Vaishnavas, whomever they interact, they have a personal touch with them. No matter how many thousands of disciples they may have, each of them, they have a personal touch. Because when we have a loving exchange with Lord Krishna, we also imbibe that personal quality because we are part and parcel of the Lord. So that aspect of personal relationship, having a relationship with exchanges with the Vaishnavas, we can also try having some personal. Whenever we have a time, we basically have a personal relationship and exchange loving exchanges, keeping Lord in the center. That is what these queens are also doing. They were serving the Lord along with all the other activities. They're serving the sons. So like that. Hare Krishna. That concludes the today's verse. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Granthas Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.